Even my sexy sister, who's a veterinarian.
Yeah, she's hot.
No, she's hot as and she's big old titties and stuff like that. But oh my god, yeah, and I want to motorboat her all day. I want to kiss her all the time. But
all right, here's a serious question. All right, one that was actually instigated by the Pew Research Center. Pew pew pew. Pew 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 pew. I like that. Is college worth it today?
I think it depends.
What?
Worth it?
I think it depends on the person.
I think it depends.
Okay. Okay, so number one, if it's fully paid and you got a scholarship,
Hey.
and you've been f***ing up in life like me, you actually didn't go to school, you have bad work ethics, it might be.
You're saying if it's free, it's worth it?
Yes.
Okay.
if you have, what kind of work ethics?
But you also have to study something that has a high probability of you working in a certain industry.
Lesbian dance.
Not lesbian dance.
Damn. My first guess was wrong.
What do you think is engineering?
Oh, for two today, dude.
Yeah, something that is in high demand, whether it's medical or like
Librarian.
Yeah, but also if you think about like being an intellectual and stuff, right? Usually it's a privilege of the rich because you have fucking money coming from family. It doesn't matter. So you just go in and you just find something that you want to philosophize on.
Philosophize.
Yeah. But like for the rest of us who has to actually go into a system and learn a trade or a skill or some type of, we have to get versed in some industry, right? And then start our career in that world. But I'm like, right now, people are leaving college or university with so much fucking debt. You're already starting at a deficit. Especially like certain degrees like pharmacy and whatever. So, I don't know.
Ironically though, even with pharmacy, so I think the playing field for this question is we take like what we consider maybe an average 4-year college and you pay for it. We're not talking of the anomalies of like you have a full ride or you're a trust fund baby or your parents are able to afford it. It's the idea of like on average, people pay whatever the annual tuition is for a 4-year degree. And in order to do so, you take loans, so you do
Do you get your money
college.
back? Do you get your money back? Yeah. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
For dollar, I would say no. Not anymore.
On average?
I would say, okay, yeah, like what is the average tuition for college these days? But not only tuition, if you go out of state, you're gonna live on campus. How much money do you cough up? And how much are you in debt by the time that you leave?
Well, how about this?
And then what is your average career salary in that industry you choose?
You don't have to even listen to us about this. 22% of U.S. adults say the cost of college is worth it, even if someone has to take out loans.
But that's 22%. That's not the majority.
No, but I'm saying exactly.
Oh.
They're speaking for you.
Yeah.
Roughly half, 49%, say it's less important to have a 4-year college degree today in order to get a well-paying job than it was 20 years ago. So this is also just...
You do have to substitute that with some sort of experience, though.
Yeah.
So if you have experience in that field, like let's say you have 4 years of experience versus 4 years of college, that's way more valuable. But if you're also like graduating high school and twiddling your thumbs, that's not doing you any.
But what if you're taking a year to find yourself?
That's even better. Yeah.
But there was that thing when we were growing up as kids, the idea that like you have to get a bachelor's degree because like people who get a college degree are going to get a high paying
Leg
job.
up no matter what.
Yeah. But like
Well, statistically,
that's just not it.
That was the case.
Statistically, high earning people, a lot of them do have degrees.
Yeah, but now the irony is now it's almost like the bar raised, just like inflation and wages, right? It's like now everybody can get a bachelor's degree, so you have to go get a master's degree in your field, which also means your debt is crazier, but yeah, you can make a lot more money.
It's more diluted.
And then you can catch up to the trade workers.
I mean, you know why it's difficult to say whether it's worth it or not, right? Because you can choose a degree like nursing or pharmacy where you're probably going to get a solid paying job, but they're on the same playing field as someone who has a philosophy degree. So it's like, yeah, you're going to go into school, get $80,000 in debt or more, and you have a degree that doesn't even give you a job.
So how do you pay it back? Yeah.
That's tough.
You're just in the hole.
Yeah.
That's why it does depend on why you're in college. Depends on like what you're.
Always. I think that.
You need to figure out what the trajectory is before you go to college, and not go to college and go, what's the trajectory?
Because you look at
Yeah, if you're gonna be like someone that's gonna be writing for like a political publication, philosophy might actually help because then you're able to like think about both sides, talk about all the other philosophers that have like different opinions on things. So it might be helpful.
But my question would be, is it worth the tuition? Because like, to me, I'm like, okay, well, if you dedicate 4 years for this experience, right? And then it's like some mid-tier college, like the professors also suck. And then now you're in debt for like whatever, 50 to 100 grand, and you start life with that much debt. And then your job, you're starting at like $30,000 to $40,000 a year. When are you gonna ever pay that off?
It sounds like a lot, but also at the same time, it's a strange perspective when you hear so many successful people be like, college isn't worth it. Even though like these people went to college and they ended up making it worth it. Like it never stops being up to you. After you're done with college, it's still up to you to make it worth it. If you stand there and you go, I don't have a job.
Well, even my sexy ass sister who's a veterinarian.
Yeah, she's hot.
No, she's hot as fuck, and she's big old titties and stuff like that. But oh my god, yeah, and I want to motorboat her all day. I want to kiss her all the time. But she'll tell you right now, getting a degree was not really worth it because the debt that she's in is almost insurmountable.
But isn't it required of her job?
Well, what do you mean?
To be a veterinarian, you have to go to school, don't you?
Oh yeah, exactly.
But she would have done it another route.
Yes, she would have done something else if she
Not even be a vet.
if she knew that being a mom, having a mortgage, and paying off student debt was like the triumvirate she would end up in. She looking back, she's like, fuck, I don't know if
Would she have been a vet tech?
because she's what's that?
Would she have been a vet tech instead? Because vet techs, way less school, way less debt.
Yeah.
Pretty good pay.
And you can still be in the industry.
True, but she hates all her texts. But she hates her.
So she would have cut the degree in college versus cut the kid.
No. Well, yeah, but she definitely just looks back on it with some remorse because she's just in a hole that she just can't get herself out of because it's so much debt. It's like 250 G's of debt.
How much does a vet make?
I didn't go into that level
Depends.
of college student loans because I wasn't going for some sort of like.
How much were your student loans
doctor.
at the time?
Maybe like a total of like 45 or something like that.
45 for a bachelor's?
Yeah.
And then did you have to take
But I went to UCI
Did you take on that burden or your parents?
100% by myself.
Wow.
Did you pay all that off already?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
That's tight,
Tight.
dude.
That deserves one of the.
Baby.
Thank you.
Do you use
However,
your degree?
I will say, I was a film and media studies major, so if that means YouTube videos is film, fuck yeah.
But then also look at Anthony's network. It's comprised of a lot of key people that you met because you went to UCI.
Yeah, because I started dance in college, so ironically, formal education is everything that led into my career anyway. But from just an experiential point of view, and like now, $45,000 is a lot of money. But in the grand scheme of life, it's like it's just money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
The relationships you guys way worth it.
Yeah. So like to me,
Totally.
I'm like, yo, and also I can easily still say when I look back at that college time frame, one of the greatest experiences and times of my life.
But also, you're someone that maximizes experiences.
Exactly.
There are losers that go to college, go straight to their dorm and go.
Right. And then they complain.
Whereas he's in college thinking about the duality of man and shit.
But that's exactly my point. Is that you are making it worth the tuition in ways that someone else would be like, wow, they just look at it like a degree that went nowhere. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
Sometimes college puts you in the right places at the right times, and you couldn't have gotten that any other way.
If you're the right person with the right mind.
But everybody is. It's just, they just have to like
But this
apply themselves.
is where I'm like, do you need college? Because if you have good work ethics, if you apply yourself, anybody that is determined to do whatever, they don't actually need it. That's what I'm saying. Is like,
Yeah,
I'm sure
well, if you got something
in
better,
other settings, like Anthony, because of who he is and how he's a go-getter, he doesn't need college to be and find a social circle and do those things, right? So like,
I was
would say
really nerdy in the beginning though.
if your personality is a certain way, I think if you're already social, if you're already a go-getter, if you're already like a lot of people, they would be like, well, look at Bill Gates, he dropped out and all that. Yeah, but these guys are geniuses.
Those are funny as fuck
they
to say.
fucking work hard. They're like
They're anomalies.
most people that make that excuse. They have horrible work ethics. They don't even fucking do anything.
They're missing the point. Yeah.
They just don't want to do it.
But Anthony would be locking before popping, and he wouldn't even know what the fuck's going on.
The order of operations is off.
I think it's like anything. If you have something better than college, do that.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it's a great way to like kind of fuck around and find out.
I think so.
If you didn't know how to, out of high school, if you didn't learn how to maintain a schedule and like and understand kind of like delayed gratification. Like it takes 4 years to build something and get a degree, and not everything is earned tomorrow. And if you have all those skills out of high school, you probably don't need
The
it.
discipline that you gain.
If your degree is 70 to 100 plus, just be careful. Make sure you know what job you're going to get to pay it back.
There you go. Yeah, the weighing of it. Would you say? How about this? Do you recommend if someone was choosing between college and military, out of high school?
Oh, dude, I would go 100% military.
Especially your dude.
Because they literally build you from the ground up, from like the practical shit, right? Like how to iron your pants, how to like open a bank account. Like you guys do it literally by the numbers. So everything in the military, like day one, because people do die in boot camp, everyone gets forms. So everyone goes, line number 18, write your name. Like, so you have like 100 people, right? So the first thing you do in the first week of the military is fill out a application for life insurance. Just in case you pass away, then the money goes to your, so like things that you're not thinking about that it's very important in this grand scheme of things, like filling out your account information so that the military can deposit money into your bank account, like all that basic shit. If you'd never had a dad or a mom that taught you all that stuff, even how to open a credit card, like my very first credit card was a Marine credit union credit card I've ever owned. Like they walk you through the steps.
Did you learn taxes?
That part I probably did. I think I saw like 1,700 in my bank account. I was freaking out because I was balling. So I was like, how many shoes am I gonna buy?
Yeah, dude.
So I probably during that part I was already like daydreaming, like
That's so sick.
I'm gonna get fucking 2 North Face coats, and then
And that's it.
yeah, my brain was already exploding.
New rims.
Yeah.
I feel like I needed college coming out of high school. Like I thought I was so fucking smart. I thought I knew everything. If I could do it all over again, I'd probably go the military route. I'd probably do that. But I think college taught me how to be, like, the first 4 years I was at community college fucking around. I thought I was gonna be a fighter and shit, and all my intention was towards that.
What were you taking? Kinesiology?
Yeah, that's what I made. First I was a business major, and then I was like, dude, fuck, this is the most boring thing ever. And I did kinesiology, and then when I transferred to CSUN, like I had to really learn how to fucking study and shit, because I was like, dude, I can't just cheat in all my classes. I was like, I have to actually learn how to do this shit. And it taught me how to study. It taught me how to have like, you know, how to note take, how to actually be a better student. And I think that was important for me. It gave me good structure, because if I didn't have that, I'd be fucking off, dude.
But now we know why Nick's clients run Nick. Because he doesn't have a business degree, he has a fucking kinesiology degree. Nick's clients own Nick. They own him.
What do I do? What do I do?
Oh, how can I keep you? I'll lower the rates again.
I think one cool thing about college too is it opened my eyes a lot. Cause I remember like going to class and then I'm like, dude, this fool's a fucking straight up genius. So you kind of see the caliber of people's brains and how they operate. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this is like the hardest shit I ever fucking took, and I actually have to study it. I'm like, this fool has fucking photographic memory. You just gotta start seeing levels. It's like going to the gym and you see the guy that just benches 500. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah,
There's also that feeling of like, before I went to UCI, a lot of people would always tell me, dude, you don't need to go to college. College, we don't need it. These are all people that went, and I'm like, yeah, but I want to be you. I want to be a guy that went and then can say I don't need it. I don't want to never go.
I want to be the one that fucked the bitch and then dumped her.
Because it just feels like those guys that go, trust me, bud, you don't want all this money, man. It comes with problems. It's like, yeah, I do. I want those.
Test me.
Yeah, I want to be that guy that went and knows I didn't need it.
I would say like I probably needed it because I only had like a year of high school, so I needed to catch up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's so circumstantial to the individual. There's like kids that are so smart that I'm like, after you don't even need to finish high school. Like, and then I would argue that more than college, what's important is discipline and hard, like work ethics and like being able to like stick with your time, sleep schedules, all that shit. If you can control that, dude, you don't actually need college.
No.
Remember we did this show at this Ivy League school, and this kid as a junior, he created this thing called, I think, the Chomp card or whatever. So it's like a credit card and it has like a bite out of it. So that's how the credit cards are made. And what he did is he talked to all the eateries in this college town that whoever has this, you'll get an automatic like 15% off your meal or whatever. But you just have to buy into this Chomp card, and that's how he makes his money. And I'm like, you thought of all this shit when you're fucking 20 years old and you're able to pitch this idea to all the restaurants? That shit fucking.
It was a payment processing card where people can use their cafeteria lunch card at local restaurants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's sick.
I'm like, this is why you're at an Ivy League school.
Good for
I'm like,
you.
what
That's
the-
really
But that's the
smart.
difference between Cal State and Ivy League.
Hey, well, what?
And he was talking about it like it was normal. Like
Yeah.
me and all my friends do, like have other stuff outside of class.
Right.
I'm like, what the?
It's like whenever they hire like some engineer that's like a kid into Google, when you look into that kid's life, he's like 3 companies in already.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's not some like random guy in a school they pulled out. This dude
Yeah, he
has
already did-
equity in companies he made.
Yeah, he already did this at 8, did this at 12.
Exactly, yeah.
So so we had a family friend who he had a multi-million-dollar trucking company and he retired. And I was really getting into like business because I read like Rich Dad Poor Dad and whatever. And I was like, hey, I want to have like lunch with them. And my mom was like, okay, let me call him up. So he went over to his house. He lives in Palos Verdes, fucking cliffside house, everything, right? And then so he goes, what are you thinking about education? And I'm like, so USC has an entrepreneurship program. And I think I want to get into that. And he goes, isn't that school like 50 grand or something a year or whatever? And I was like, yeah. He goes, you don't need it. And I'm like, but how am I going to learn entrepreneurship? And he goes, you start a business right now. He goes, you don't need to go to a school to teach you how to do business and then you start doing business. He goes, you do it right now.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, you stupid.
Motherfucker.
Like, are you going to teach
No wonder
me
you live on a cliff, dude. You're gonna fall off the fucking cliff one day. It's the cliff of roads.
And
Dumbass.
so we went to go get barbecue, right?
He paid for it.
Yeah, and then like he was telling me about. Looking back, I was like, he could have been a great mentor, but I was such a dumb fucking kid, right?
You get to learn that. That's really, but smart people learn. Dumb people dismiss.
Yeah.
But you learn in college.
Well, because my mind was like, oh, he's old-fashioned. Like he doesn't know because USC is gonna have more sophisticated people. They're gonna have more high-level people. And I look back and I'm like, what he was trying to do was prevent me from starting life with $200,000 in debt. And he knew that that would have crushed me, but he didn't articulate that because it's pretty common sense. If you think about it, it's like, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, you want zero debt. You want to start and generate income and build up your like moat, right? And then so, yeah, there were a lot of things that he said and I dismissed and I really regret because he probably had some really good shit to say.
And by the way, just for people who don't know this, a moat is like about digging a little river around your business, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
So that way, crocodiles, alligators, all this stuff you put in the moat, and then attackers can't get in. And I'm talking about actually, literally building a moat around. Not metaphor.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, so if a school like USC is gonna have the entrepreneurship program and it's a new program, right? They're gonna get the best people. That's what I thought, and it's probably true. But it was made for rich kids that can afford that, and they won't have the debt when they start. Or you have scholarships.
Yeah, that's big too.
I'm like, but looking back, the best lessons that I had was when I did eBay with my buddies, and when I resold, and then like,
When you worked in the warehouse.
dude, that was it. Actually doing a business.
Actually doing it, yeah.
The job.
Starting life with like $100 grand in debt.
That's
is
tough.
pretty crazy. It's probably depressing too. You're probably like, fuck, how do I dig myself out of this?
And it's not even just like you're starting with debt. You're starting with debt, and you had to put in years of time to be there. So it feels like you're starting later with debt.
Right, yeah.
And it's the one thing that you can't even file bankruptcy and get out of either.
For real.
And even then, what I admire about Joe too is what all the things he just learned and he's talking about with us. He just learned even more opening a business with Jumbi. Like, you know, and he's open about it.
And the pottery thing too.
Oh yeah. That was, I got into real estate accidentally and I wholesaled a warehouse. But
Yeah.
that was,
And you're learning even more with the EDD thing. That's great.
Oh fuck.
That's the best. We're learning a lot with that.
That's gonna be such a good lesson one day.
Never start a business in California.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out of California.
You're gonna have great advice for the next guy.
I don't want to learn anymore.
Hey, EDD guy, if you're gonna watch this, you better fucking subscribe and like the video.
We don't fucking work here, dude. I don't work for Shitboy, man.
Contractor. Hey, buy the fucking socks, dude. You're gonna get the money anyway.
Pretty fucking funny. We're talking shit.
The money's going to him.
We're talking shit to the guy that
This helps us make payroll.